Well, you guys, we're here. And I always believe in perfection. I know Carrie does too. Carrie has to remind me of this sometimes. I have to remind her sometimes. And Guillaume, yes, this is going to be a powerful one. And because of that, I'm not at the animal hospital where I probably should be. But she's fine. She's right there. Look at her tail. We had quite the morning. I'll spare you the whole entire story, but like she has an open, it's like a sore. It's not anything danger. We're keeping an eye on it. It's been checked out several times, but trying to get a cat through the scabbing process to where something's healed is like nearly impossible. So she got her bandage off today. Then I put a cone on her and then she got that off. So we've been through it, but we're okay. I got a new bandage on her and hopefully we'll be fine.
Oh, not to be too graphic here, Rachel, but is she like oozing? Is she getting at it or what's up?
She's okay. She was bleeding earlier today, which is why I had to attend to her. But look, she's eating right now, which means she's relaxed. So she's not bleeding anymore. She's not oozing. She's okay.
So I don't know that this is like the right public forum to be giving animal advice on, but I will tell you, I got it at like grocery outlet or like the dollar store or something that like it's like not adhesive, it's stretchy. Mine is fluorescent pink, but it's like a bandage that sticks to itself, but it doesn't, it's not like super sticky. That was a lifesaver for my dog when she had something going on that she wouldn't leave alone. And because it stuck to itself, but it wasn't like painful to get off of her. So it could see like wrapping around her whole neck, which
I will look into that for sure, because we do need a more permanent solution. This just is a little too easy for her to get at.
All right.
So that's where I'm at today.
Well, hey, and you guys, let's just be real. We're talking about our money story and we will get there. And I think it's appropriate. Rachel's wearing Do Only What You Love, and I am wearing Believe in Yourself. So we are channeling our own inner awesome. But I am sitting here waiting for my dryer repair guy. And I was like, of all the, there's some time between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. today. And this is my like one time to be live. I'm like, oh gosh, I really hope he doesn't come in this hour. But if I suddenly jump up and leave, it's because finally I've been waiting for this person for over a week. So if I jump up and leave our live stream, Rachel, it's because I'm letting the dryer repair guy in.
No problem whatsoever. So and thank you, Ruth. Yeah, we have an appointment set up. Like we'll be okay. It was just she was freaking out today. I was freaking out today. So, but we're all right. But the fact that she's eating means she's calmed down and she's okay. So,
well, Rachel, why don't we, before we even jump into our topic, why don't we, you and I, and everyone who's here. So those of you who I see our usuals. I see Guillaume, Corinne, Zach, and Ruth. Hello. Anybody else who's here, why don't we take a minute to settle in to the now? Let's all of us like get present. And Rachel, I love one of the dot thing that you do. Can you do that for us?
Yeah, so I got this from Jim Self. His website is masteringalchemy.com. He's got great tools. And so here we go. All right, so get comfortable. Take a breath. And imagine that there is a dot the size of a pencil mark 2 feet above your head. So there's a dot hanging out there 2 feet above your head. And you're going to imagine that it's coming down in space and it's going to enter your head and you're going to situate it behind your eyes and between your ears so that it's in the middle of your head. So here's this dot centered in your head behind your eyes, between your ears. You can just imagine it there. It doesn't have to feel like anything. And just breathe normally. And then imagine that your eyes are moving back to where that dot is. So if you can just imagine placing your eyes in the center of your head so that when you open them, you're looking from the center of your head. So whenever you feel ready to do this, just open your eyes and see how you feel, see what looks different. I love that. I love all of Jim's tools, but I find that to be one that everyone seems to not have an issue with, right? Like we can all understand how it feels to be present. And I know for me, it's like an HD moment when I open my eyes. There's more depth to what I'm looking at. The colors are crisper, lines are crisper. I can almost smell the air in a different way, and it just feels really good. And, being present is probably a big theme of what Carrie and I are going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about our own situations with money, what works, what doesn't, what didn't for us, and compare how we used to do things to how we do things now. But we're going to share how you can find your ease and alignment when it comes to money in our aligned income workshop. It's totally free, but you do have to register because we're going to do it in GoToMeeting so that we can all talk to each other and I can, see your face. So go to alignedincome.com and register for the call. I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. I was like just gonna see if I could figure out how to do it. Oh yeah, alignedincome.com. There we go. Yeah. I'm really so yesterday Rachel and I were in a call together where we were reflecting just on the past year. And I woke up this morning in like more reflection of this past year. And I don't know exactly how you're going to start this conversation, Rachel, but I would just want to say, like, I am so incredibly grateful for, my choice to live this way. Like, I am so grateful for this year and what has happened in my life and business. And I came to the realization last year or the year before, I don't remember, where I was like, every year in my business has been the best year in my business, which has been amazing. And it happened yet again this year with even more relaxation and ease. My word for 2021 was unconditional abundance. And that was just so true in so many ways. So yeah, I don't know where you're starting the conversation. I'm happy to go where it goes, but I just wanted to say, man, am I grateful. Man, am I grateful.
Me too. I started out this year deciding to be a writer and to make that my priority. And lo and behold, I had great success with that. And it's ongoing, right? There's always more, but the things that I wanted to accomplish, I've accomplished. And that's pretty huge. And I did it making money as a writer, but also having the things that I was already doing support me so that I wasn't stressed and I wasn't worried and I didn't have to go through that like really hard time of trying to make something work. And so that let me have my open, free, creative time to do what I wanted to do. And, but not everything worked this year. And I want to be clear about that. Like when I was writing that email to you all about Carrie and I talking about our money journey, I wanted to highlight the fact that like we had some stumbles this year too. So I think the biggest thing that we all can learn is that success doesn't need to be 100% all the time. Like for you to have ease and flow and trust and abundance and like magic in your life and time freedom and money freedom, you don't have to do everything right all the time. And that, I'm sure for Carrie as well, was a really eye-opening thing to me. Like, I thought when you started a business, like, just like in the stock market, we always want it to go up. We always want every launch to be the best launch. We want all of our ideas to be better than the ones before. And when that doesn't happen, like, that's still okay. You can still be rising up in some kind of quote unquote failure. And so, like, taking the pressure off is what allows you to grow. And so I just wanted to highlight that at first. And I'll tell you, when we didn't succeed, we were doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, I'll just be totally frank because I love you guys and I know you like our honesty. When we did, I think it was our second aligned up level, we shortened it to 2 days and we were like, basically, oh yeah, this will be an easy way to make more money, right? Because we're past the point. Like, we're confident that what we deliver helps people. We're not worried about, like, we're not doing anything for greedy reasons. It's just we're in business, right? We'd love to have more clients. And so that's what we thought. And so we cut out one day. We thought it'll be easier for people to attend as well. Like, we had all these reasons and justifications, but we missed part of it. We missed the ease and the flow. We missed the timing of what that event likes to be, the 3 days, the luxuriating in alignment. Like, we kind of missed part of that. It was still a great event. We still had an awesome time. We still provided a lot of value for people. But it didn't pay off, like, monetarily as much as the other events have, because I think we went into it a little rushed, a little for the wrong reasons. So, what I have found throughout my entire business journey is that if I'm doing it for me, it's going to bring me money. If I'm doing it to make money, it's not going to make me money. And this is something that I try to help my clients understand in their own way, in their own time, because there's nothing wrong with going into business wanting to make money. I'm not trying to say that, but I find that it works a lot better. The money flows a lot more easily if you are doing it for you, because it's really what you want to experience in that moment. And our last line up level, Carrie and I were kind of on the fence about doing it. And we thought, you know what, we'll just go into this knowing that we're like kind of going on a 3-day vacation together. Like, we get to spend a lot of time together, be in the alignment juices that we love. And it was another big success. So I just wanted to be honest about that and let you guys know, like, if you are ever struggling in business, you can dig yourself into a deeper hole by thinking, I got to do this to make money. I got to do this to make money. And I see it happen all the time. And that's where people go down that path of burnout where they're not seeing results. You got to backtrack and go to, like, oh, what will fill me up today? That's what works for me, at least.
So I like the way that you started about, so I always, usually in these conversations, I find the word perspective. And for me, the perspective of failing forward, or a failure isn't really a failure, recognizing, like, I have chosen a perspective that life supports me, the universe supports me, that everything is working out in my favor, that what I want wants me back, that I have asked for it and it already is, and it can't not come to me. So when you live from that perspective, even when you are not succeeding, you're on the path to success. And I think that is a primary thing that Rachel and I have and know, is like, even when something doesn't work or like doesn't succeed, we recognize, oh, how did we get in our own way there? Like, where were we out of alignment? What wasn't quite right? Right. And that was that second aligned up level. I think we both, and it was a great event. So if you were there, we're so excited that you were there. It was amazing. I think, if I remember correctly, Rachel, it was mostly people who were already in our programs who came to that, which was great. And we had a lovely time doing it. It just wound up not being the event that we thought that it was going to be. And partly because I think it was something that we had kind of like felt, well, we did feel like it was time to do another one. I remember feeling like it was time to do another one. But I also remember when we chose to like start doing aligned up levels, like we were so excited about the idea of it. And then when the second one came around, it just sort of felt like, well, it's been a little while. It's time to do another one. It didn't have like that same, I don't know about you. I was really working on like conjuring that same feeling. Um, but it just came from a different place, right? It came from like, oh, it's time to do another event so we can make a little bit more money. It's time to like, it came from maybe a much more like practical brain place instead of like this like stirring in our souls to do one. And for me, that's really important in like in how things work in my business. Is am I in alignment or am I in obligation? And because this is maybe I'm going down a different path. So, but I will just say integrity is super important to me, and doing what I say that I'm going to do. Like if I commit to something, I want to honor that commitment. And that is a little bit what that second aligned up level felt like, which was why it was great for the people who were committed, right? The people who were already in our stuff. It's like, yeah, I was super committed to them. But anyways, I just wanted to say that the bigger perspective of knowing that all of this is just part of the journey to where I'm wanting to go. That's the difference maker. That's been the difference maker for me in a business that I was constantly worried was going to fail and like couldn't figure it out. And why is this so hard for me? And how come other people are doing it? To like, oh, this is all part of my success journey. Like the minute I was able to embody that, like game changer, business changer, money, bank account changer.
Yeah. I mean, and this perspective takes me back to my first foray into online business with a teacher who would say, fail fast, which I also love. Because it's bound to happen and there's nothing wrong with it. You're learning the whole entire time. And I probably told you guys this story, but since we're comparing, my first online business teachers were very adamant about like high level coaching being the way to go when you're starting. And it makes sense because it's easier to sell one client at a higher cost than it is to sell like 20 people at like $100 for, your month's income. It's math, right? Like they're just trying to help out. But I built the whole funnel. I had the sales calls and everyone loved me, but they didn't sign up for my coaching. And so I thought, well, I really don't even want to do coaching. I'm really just selling this because that's what my teachers are telling me to do. What I really want is a group. And so I called all those people back and they all signed up for well, I think 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 signed up for the group, which was like, oh my God. And it was still a higher investment. It was like $500 for this group, which was a lot for me. My first product, in the online world. And some people split it up on payment plans. And it was also my first time getting recurring revenue. So it was humongous for me. And it came out of a failure, right? If I had just decided like, oh, like I can't do this. I'm not good at this. Nobody has bought anything, even though they seem to like me, right? No, you got to pick yourself back up, and ask yourself, what do I really want right now? How do I really want to engage with these people? What do I really want to be talking about? And every time my business has started to dwindle in some area, I ask myself those questions. And then I realize, oh, well, I've really wanted to have been moving in this direction. So I go in that direction and business picks up again. So again, I mean, no big news to you, but for me to make money easily, I need to be in my truth. Like I need to be in my alignment. And when I am, money flows in from many, many, many different avenues. It's not just what I'm working on in my business. It's like all of these avenues open up and come in. And I'm fully supported. And that's what allowed me to do what I did this year, and feels really good.
Well, so let's talk about your year in money, Rachel, because like you and I are having this conversation and we've sort of had these conversations before, but like I'm super curious about your year in money this year. Like how did it work out for you this year?
Well, Carrie, it worked out great. So, I doubled my income this year, which now in the beginning of the year, right? I was like, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to work even less than I ever have before on my regular businesses. I even shut down doing my publishing. I have not had a publishing client all year, and I have not worked full time this year. I've probably worked on average like 5 to 6 hours a week on intuitive art and strategy for other things. That doesn't include my client calls because they differ, but and I think I had more private clients than I ever have this year, but it still was very manageable because several of them were once a month or did a half hour. So it doesn't take up a lot of my time. And so I worked less than ever across the board all year. I got hired to be a screenwriter. I wrote several screenplays that I'm now able to pitch, and I, accomplished what I wanted to do, and I still doubled my income, and I had more fun than ever. And I have a partner who took on more of the workload this year. So I did less. My clients got more in intuitive art and in our coaching group. And I got to do all the things that I wanted to do, and I was fully supported in going in new directions. So, like, I don't know if I could have asked for anything more. Like, I think this is everything I asked for this year. I didn't buy that house, if you guys know. I didn't buy that house that I was looking at, but other than that, um, I saw my family twice. Like, I went on many wilderness vacations. Like, I'm gonna have to think bigger for next year because everything got crossed off.
I love that. That is one of, oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. That is one of my favorite things, right? When you recognize, oh, I'm going to have to start thinking bigger. I just had that conversation with a friend where I was like, I like fully remember when this life that I'm currently living, which I'm super comfortable living in my day to day, which I think I've shared, I don't know if I've shared with this channel, but it is my dream to be in sweats and workout clothes and a little bit stinky all day while I do my work. And I forgot where I was going with that. Dang it. I lost my train. So I'll go back to my notes on what you said, which is just you doubled your income. I did not double my income this year. But wow, I mean, that's amazing. That is so great. It's so inspiring to me, Rachel, that like you stop doing the income generating things, knowing that you're on your success path, committed to this idea, like I'm a writer. And you got a lot of writing done. Now, I would imagine that most of that writing you haven't been paid for yet. Is that true?
Yeah.
So this is what I love about that. And it's part of my story is that like, you knew I'm supposed to be writing more. Like I need to be writing more. And then because you committed to that, even though it wasn't paying you, randomly someone found you and was like, can I pay you to write for me? And you were like, yeah, I can. Yeah, you can. And also your other areas of finance, like ways that money can come to you, grew. I mean, that is amazing. And that actually happened for me. It didn't start just this year, but I had huge resistance to becoming a high school coach. Again, so I had been a high school coach years and years ago. And then when I started having kids, well, when my kids got old enough, my husband and I stopped coaching high school, and that's when I ventured into this world of coaching, right? Coaching adult humans. But it's like a huge love of mine. And every time that I would, I would see Rachel, or I would talk to like other intuitive people, and if I would just like listen to the stirrings of my own soul, like everything said, you got to coach. You're the one. You got to do this, Carrie. And I had all of these reasons why I couldn't. And they were mostly excuses, but they were a lot about, well, coaching doesn't pay. Like there's no real money there. And we've done live streams before on the idea of try, but like I did try actually pretty hard to like somehow make being a running coach pay me millions of dollars. And I actually believe that like that is in the process of happening right now, but trying did not make it happen. And yet I knew I'm the person who's supposed to do this coaching. And so it was about 3 years ago where I just like leaned in. And then each year I've leaned in a little bit further. But the same thing has happened for me, Rachel. Like I'm doing this non-income generating activity that is 100% aligned. And income is coming from all sorts of random places without me having to try. So same, I didn't double my income this year. My income grew, but it didn't even grow like substantially. Actually, I should check that number before I say it didn't grow substantially, because often I'm wrong in that. Often I look back and be like, oh, it actually did grow pretty substantially. But I know it did not double. But what did double was my sense of ease and the sense of what I wanted, right, was unconditional income. And the way that my income had come before felt very conditional on things like events, like things like the aligned up level, things like where it was like, okay, this has to succeed. And what happened this year was just the opposite of that. And all it took to get that was like recognizing where I was out of alignment and having some conversations, like renegotiating a couple of things. And oh my God, like the difference in abundance between last year and this year. And I thought last year was amazing, but the difference has been just like so substantial. And the amount of focus, so same as you, like what has had much of my focus this year has been coaching high school kids. And my money and coaching high school kids actually continues to make me better at what I do with my clients. But yeah, that's my money story this year. So I just want to recognize that, because I resisted that for so long. Everyone was telling me, follow your heart, do it. And I was like, that doesn't pay. Stop telling me to do that. But when I finally did it, I let money in.
And for both of us, we let in more of our own leadership and trust and like relaxation and ease. And for me, my friendships completely blossomed this year. I can't even believe how many people I'm in like daily conversations with. And friends too, friends that I only talk to briefly, like once a year before this, I'm now like talking to every day. And one of them's from childhood. So that came in because there was space for that. And so like, obviously money is important. It's how we live in this world. But when you add in all the other things too, these multidimensional results, like that's the byproduct of alignment as well. And that's what really adds to that quality of life improvement that I can't even quantify. Like, so the other thing I just want to add is I know how I did this. And that makes it repeatable. And that's what we're going to share in the aligned income call is like, okay, how do you do this? There are lots of little things that I occasionally forget or do wrong, and then I notice like, oh, I'm on the down path, got to get back to where I want to be. And so like, I think Abraham says, alignment isn't a college degree, like it's a moment by moment thing. So definitely. But that also means that on a daily basis, Carrie and I get to see, like, oh, this is actually what really works. Because when I stop doing this, the results stop coming in. So I'm really confident that I can help you as well if you're looking for more like practical information on how to help yourself have this kind of life. So definitely come to our free workshop. We will be talking about like my coaching next year in our group that's changing. We haven't even told our group that it's changing, but they're going to love it anyway. So we will be mentioning that at the end, but like absolutely after all of this incredible information and just a fun time. I love hanging out with you guys. Um, so yeah, I've had intentions pretty much every year now for a really long time. I remember one year my intention was like, I want to be traveling at least 3 months out of the year. So, how can I make my business more automated? And I remember spending time creating those systems in my business so that I could be away from it for a long time. And that was really wonderful. I know a couple of years ago I traveled 6 months out of the year and from a van mostly. And so like I remember like making my business compatible with that. So I've been through a lot of different changes in how I approach my business, how much I work, how much I'm home. And so this doesn't just apply to someone who's like home all the time sitting behind a desk. Like these are really universal principles that will help you accomplish whatever you want, whether you want to be off coaching high school kids or becoming a professional screenwriter. Like, I love that all of this is really universal.
I unmuted like I had something to say, but I really don't, Rachel. I want to say something about our aligned income call is because, guys, just the idea that you could come and marinate in the energy of aligned income. Sometimes I forget that, like, it's so second nature to us. Like, this do only what you love. Like, that sweatshirt of mine is so worn out that it's like sad because I wear it all the time. But it's like, I remember purchasing that sweatshirt and wearing it because I was like, yep, I'm doing this now. I'm doing only what I love. And I remember it was reflected back to me on our mastermind call yesterday. A friend of ours was like, yeah, Carrie just gets paid to be awesome. Because I remember you asked the question earlier in this call, Rachel. You said, what do you want? You really want right now? And I remember being in a place of like, well, I want to write a best-selling book, or I want to get 10 clients, or I want to like whatever. But what I really, really wanted, I just wanted to show up and be awesome. I just wanted to be paid for being awesome. I had an inherent knowing that there is something awesome about me, and I just want to be paid for being awesome. I think I was probably at a place where people were like, you're so great. Oh my God, working with you is so amazing. But I was in this place of like, how do I get people to work with me? And I just like surrendered to that. Like, okay, I don't know. I don't remember what year it was, but it was reflected back to me that I just made this decision. Like, I'm just going to get paid to be awesome. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm just going to get paid to be awesome. That was my intention. And then that year, opportunities to show up and be awesome started up. People like Rachel were like, hey, you want to do a live stream with me? Hey, do you want to? And it happened like not just with Rachel. It happened all over the place. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because I think a lot of us set an intention, like you had a clear intention of automate. And a lot of us said in it, but it was because you know what it was going to feel like to automate. You knew how you wanted your business to feel, how you wanted your life to feel. It was a logical step, but it wasn't just a logical step. And I have found that people have the most profound breakthroughs when they get past what they think they want to like their kind of breakdown. Like, I just want to show up and be awesome. I don't want to have to like, I don't want to have to automate. I don't want to have it like, I just want whatever comes after that. Like that. That's the thing. And so when you come okay, I'm rambling, but back to aligned income is just there for me. There's something about just being on that call and being connected to like, I just want my income to come from my alignment. I just want to be able to relax and know. And we just had, I'm going to tell a story without telling specifics, but Rachel and I just had an experience over the past 8 weeks with someone who we work closely with, who 8 weeks ago or less, about maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, was on a call with us saying, man, my business has not done that well this year. My business is okay, but like I would normally be freaking out right now because I don't know, like I got some contracts that are wrapping up. I don't know where the next ones are coming from. Like if I look at my books for too long, I should probably freak out. But I'm not really freaking out. Like I kind of lived in your guys' world for long enough to know like it's going to be okay. And what is my job really? It's to find alignment and yada yada. So like we went through that with her and we were like, you've got this, and we're relaxing and we are like, you know, it is happening. We can see it, we can feel it, which is wonderful to have other people who can also hold that for you. Anyways, she just came to our call yesterday and be like, you're not going to believe this. Only of course we believe it. But like not like she had the biggest 6 weeks ever. And like, she didn't say if her income doubled, but what she was rattling off sure sounded like it more than doubled.
I remember she said it was, she made 120% of what she had made all year. So yes, it doubled. More than doubled.
Yeah. Okay. I'm rambling, so you need to like reel me in.
I like your rambles. Well, I mean, you're highlighting a couple of things, and something that happens to me all the time. Part of my money story is that most of my money comes in chunks. I don't have the ability, luxury, I don't know what you want to call it, to be like setting across the board budget for my months all through the year, or you know, I have recurring revenue that comes every month, which is wonderful, but like I will get big chunks of money here and there as well, as new clients sign up or I sell something big or whatever, which I love. I mean, it's really fun for me. But sometimes if there's a big gap, it's only human to be like, oh, well, you know, what's going to happen? Or is there going to be more? Or do I have to start marketing? Right? There's a lot of questions that would go through my mind. And this year, more than ever, I've been like, and a lot of last year, um, it's like, oh, this is great. I love it. And it gives me an opportunity to practice what I preach and to know, I'll give you a little spoiler, that it's up to me. It's my alignment that brings money. It's not other people. It might seem to come through other people, but it's always about me. And so if I want abundance to come into my life, I know what to do and I know how to be, so that it's like a done deal. It's not, I don't have to think about it. And it's like our friend finally that clicked into place for them, and look what happened. Like I love these stories because it shows like no matter how long you've gone without big abundance or, you know, money security, it can change at any time because you're the one in control of it. You know, you don't have to like land some big press in a magazine for orders to come in or people to find you. Like it's really internal. And obviously, you know, I've been living vibrationally, seriously, like since my mid 20s. I've had a spiritual mentor for that long, whether it's been my higher self or someone else, guiding me in like this daily way where I'm connecting. And every single year it gets easier and easier and easier. And it's okay if you're on a journey with it, right? But as they say, time is speeding up, energy is speeding up. And I'm finding that in all of my time, having been in this world, observing people, you know, Sonia Showcut called me hyper conscious. I'm hyper aware of what's around me in the state of people's consciousness. you all are catching up. Like, this is not out of reach for you. This is happening for you. You've already been a creator your entire life, and you are getting this now. And I've been seeing it happen, and it just keeps happening faster and faster every year. That's why our aligned up levels have helped so many of you, like, actually put into practice this stuff. And I'm not trying to say this like Carrie and I are your gurus. We are not. We are just reminding you of what you already know in maybe a more systematized way. But yeah, like, this is for you. And so, however you would answer that question of like, what do you really want right now? How do you really want your life to look? What do you want your abundance story to be? This is serious. Like, you have control over this, and it's really fun to be able to trust that.
Being able to trust that is the absolute best.
Yeah.
Absolute best. So good. And you said something about, we're not like your gurus. And I was early in my business, I bumped into the work of Beth Grant, and she has some like marketing personalities, or I don't even remember what it was now, but I remember that I did not resonate with guru in terms of like how a guru, in her, the way she defines it, is someone who like says, this is how I did it and it will work for you too. Like, this is how I did it, so you do it. And I don't know, I actually don't know, Rachel, what your marketing personality is, but my sense is that it's probably like mine, which is a truth guide, which is just about guiding people to the truth. Like, not having to like sell anything actually, but just guiding people to the truth. And so I've always resonated with that. Like, oh, I'm not a guru, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a marketer, I'm not any of that. I'm a truth guide. I just guide people, right? And I believe that because that is one of my biggest joys, right? Is to experience the aha moment with someone, right? And that's the beauty, is when someone experiences the aha, then it's pretty darn easy to be like, oh, yeah, please. How do I work with you? Which doesn't have anything to do with anything that we're talking about, except when you can relax. Maybe this is show up and be awesome. This is me showing up and be awesome. When you can relax and just know, this maybe is this is not new content on this channel, but you are worthy and deserving of everything you desire, and that it's coming to you, and that you can like truly be secure even through the dry spells. Like, it's happening. My job is alignment. It is up to me. When you're like truly there, oh, I'm gonna yawn. It is super easy to show up and be awesome. Like, it's super easy to just relax and be you, and not be in the like, am I doing it right? Am I doing all the right things? And when you're there, and that's when the income flows. That's how did I just spoil our whole event? I didn't. But that's how aligned income. And that's how it feels. That's what it looks like, is just like, okay, I'm showing up, I'm being awesome, everything's coming to me.
Yeah, and that includes the other things in life. Like, the reason why I didn't buy that house, to be honest, I really fell in love with this house. It was on my favorite hiking trail. It's beautiful. There's enough room for my expanding hobbies and businesses. And yes, we could have afforded it easily, but it just felt too pushing. Like, it wasn't naturally unfolding. I could have maybe aligned more, or like calibrated more. Like, I could have done some things maybe to like help it along. But because it included another person in the decision, I'm not like Carrie's husband, where I would drag her along. I'm not like, I want everything to be really easy, right? So it'll come along again. I was in love with another house a couple of years ago, so it'll come along. And but what I have been doing is being really easy and like loving with my screenwriting journey, and selling the show that I just finished updating the pilot for. I'm taking my time and it's feeling really good. And I just set a meeting with a literary manager who's looking for like true stories. And I just realized last night, oh, well, the feature film that I wrote this year is also a true story. So I have two things I can show him actually in his wheelhouse. So like this is feeling super easy and aligned, and the right people are coming to me at the right time, and I'm getting the right kind of feedback that I need to make it even better. And so all of my dreams are going to come true. That's just like a truth. I get everything I want, which is so wonderful. And I know that it's just like I get to relax. Like there's no stress that's needed to make anything happen. Stress just gets in your way. So feeling that embodiment, even more than I ever have this year, has helped me so much in getting so many of the things that I want. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how incredible it feels to basically live stress free. Like, this morning I was not stress free. Like, let's get that clear. It still happens once in a while. But when it does happen, it feels really weird. It feels like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? Um, and I guess this is just a reminder of like, you get to have everything you want. In fact, that is the card that I picked yesterday from our Oracle deck. I wanted Carrie to pick a card for me. Well, we're getting spammed. That must mean we're getting popular.
We're so popular.
We're so popular. I wanted Carrie to pick a card for me on our call, but I did it myself afterwards, and this is what I got. We get whatever we want. It's the best reminder ever. Like, you get it.
And though, Rachel, like I've known that, and but something happened for me like just really recently, like within the past month, where I got more tangible evidence of that. And it was an area where okay. So lots of things I feel like have come slightly magically, like this house that I'm sitting in, right? And I mean, I offered all sorts of resistance to this house, but it was like something that I had asked for, but then like didn't actively seek out or pursue. It just like came to me. And I tried to block it for a really long time.
I know, I was gonna say, like, your husband dragged you kicking and screaming for a year, but you finally relented and
yes.
loved
and then realized like, oh, I have been asking for this, right? But that is part of, so I have a word for this year, and it is receive. And I'm recognizing like receiving has not been something that I've been inherently great at. Oh, yay. My person is, my dryer guy is going to be here before 1 o'clock. So I'm thrilled about that. But anyways, I guess should I hang up on him? I don't want to hang up on him. So anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but something recently happened, which I felt like it did come to me, and there was kind of stuff for me to do, right? Like I felt like some of the things that, like the miraculous things that have happened, like literally fall in my lap. And those are almost easier to like, I don't know, realize. I don't know what I'm saying here, except for that recently a big goal happened. And that was actually a little bit scarier for me and caused a little bit more doubt in the process, because it did feel like, yes, it is all vibrational, and I'm doing a lot that maybe I could screw it up. Maybe I could, right? There was just like, I'm like in this, if this doesn't happen, what it really was is like, if this doesn't happen, then is what I believe really true? Like, that's where it was. So then when it did happen, and it happened the way that I knew it would, the way that I mean, like, it totally happened. Of course it happened. Of course it happened. But that for me, like, just really, 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 really cemented things. And maybe this happens every so often, right? Where you like just believe what you believe even deeper. You get even more tangible evidence. You get even more like satisfying proof of, because I just told the story of our friend, and like, oh, of course, like, yeah. But because it was in a situation with me where there was some emotion attached to it and some like, Oh man, it has given me even more faith, freedom, relaxation, stress-free, like, but even more like super confidence. Yep. All these other things on my list, tick, 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 like they're coming. And it helps me, because I have that, it helps me align with them even faster. Can you hear my dog sneezing?
Yeah. I was like, what is that? It sounds like an ice maker or something, crushed ice.
It's a sneezing dog.
Love it. Oh, you guys. Well, we've been talking at you for a while, and I'm really glad that you're enjoying this and like maybe savoring your own embodiment at the moment, because that's really what it's about. That, you know, confidence comes from embodiment of like that deep knowing. But wouldn't it be fun for me to draw a card for you all? I think, like, let's go ahead. In fact, I'm going to draw 3 because more is more, right? So I'm shuffling. Thank you to Jean Berry for creating these for the mastermind group that I'm in, that Carrie runs. Everybody needs support, guys. Get your support in order. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. I'm a tuning fork. Do relationships your way. Love that. And why am I so strong and healthy? And we'll let Carrie talk about that one.
Well, we can talk about all of them, right?
Okay.
So I'm a tuning fork. What does a tuning fork do? It vibrates at a frequency.
It vibrates, and then it causes another one to vibrate that's on a similar vibration, and they vibrate together, just like you drawing your manifestations to you.
So let's remember that. Like, wherever you're vibrating, that's what you're attracting.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you feel better right now?
Yeah.
Do relationships your way. Okay, I feel like that's a Rachel card. But I will tell you, as you were talking about friendships and reconnecting, that totally happened with me, with my best friend this year. Like, just one day I was like, why are we not talking all the time on Marco Polo? And now we talk like several times a day on Marco Polo.
Yeah, and me and my friend Matthew, we talk several times a day on WhatsApp, because like we do the voice back and forth, and it's revolutionary. Like, we were best friends growing up, and then just not much, and it's been incredible. It's been awesome.
And then the last one, these are my favorites. Why am I so strong and healthy? Or why am I so wealthy? Or why am I so amazing? Is just recognizing that we're always, whether we know it or not, we're asking ourselves some like primary questions. And oftentimes the questions that we're asking are like, why am I such a screw up? Why didn't that work for me? Why am I not getting it? Why is this so hard for me? How come I can't figure it out? Like, there's
What's
all that.
wrong with me? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we have these cards that just remind us, what if we got our subconscious? Because when you ask the question, when your conscious mind goes there, your subconscious goes to work to find a plausible answer. So why don't we start asking way better questions, which is like, why is money coming to me from every corner of the earth? Or, oh, why is it so easy for me to get everything I want? Or they don't have to be why questions, but how is it that I just keep losing weight without even trying? Like, those are the kinds of questions that we can be asking ourselves, because our subconscious is going to go to work to answer them in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. Good stuff. And somebody wrote a book with me in it this year. Like, that was an amazing manifestation that I would never have known to ask for. So Zach is saying, Rachel Tuning Fork is totally the first title I chose for radios, which is not the current title. So you guys, life is magical. Like, you will meet incredible people. Zach has he found me on Instagram, and then, you know, like, became a friend. And Guillaume I've known now for many years. I keep getting to know Guillaume. Guillaume always surprises me with his desires of like now wanting to go to, I think, Antarctica. Is that where you want to go? The North Pole. Maybe that was it. So like, gosh darn it, this life is amazing and everyone surrounding you is amazing. And, you know, getting to the point where you can be present enough to take that in and like, yeah, there's shit everywhere too. But if you can look beyond that and know your worthiness and know like that you are a worthy being and worthy of everything that you desire. Um, and you guys, there's like some serious stuff going on in my world right now with somebody that I know who is not feeling worthy at all. And I had to remind them yesterday that they are worthy no matter what happened in their life. And it's really true for anybody. It's not about what you've done, it's not about placing value in your productivity. It's just about you existing here as a being. That's what makes you worthy. So, I guess we're wrapping up because Carrie's dryer guy is going to be there. And yeah, we love you. Maybe we'll see you on our call and we'll definitely see you next week.
For sure, come to the call. It's next Friday, alignedincome.com. Is that right? Come. It's going to be so juicy and so good. If you've ever been on any of our calls, you know we just marinate in the awesome. So come ready to take notes. Come ready to change your year, right? Come ready for 2022 to kick ass.
Yeah, let's like embody what we want for next year together because that sounds like fun.
Yeah. And because it freaking works. So let's do it.
Awesome.
You guys, I'm so excited. The dryer repairman's coming. You have no idea. So thank you for this call and being in the energy of this, because I 100% believe that like getting present and shifting into the energy of remembering all the good has caused the appliance repair gods to like align with me. Oh, it also started to rain just now. Awesome.
Oh, it's snowing here. It's like our first snow. It's beautiful. And my cat is okay.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks for helping me all feel better because I do.
Good. My dog is barking at nothing. So poor old dog. I think she sees things. Anyways, love you guys all so much. Super excited to see you on Friday next week. And we'll probably be here on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Lots of love, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.